Hello everyone, this is Robert Aldana with the My Scotts Valley Facebook page. Welcome to another edition of the My Scotts Valley Weekly. We try to get it out every week, but we got so much going on, we can't possibly get it every week. But have I got a dandy for you? Okay, we actually have the general manager for the Scotts Valley Water District, Piret Harmon, right next to us, to the right. And we also have Leanne Ravenelli. I just love your last name. And you're a conservation coordinator. You actually coordinated a lot of conservation in our home. So I appreciate you and thank you for doing that. And you're saving us a lot of money. So I should be sending you a check personally.
That would be fine.
Would that be okay? And then we have the same position being held at the SLV Water District. Brian Lee, thanks for being here with us today.
My pleasure, thank you.
And the cool thing we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be touching base on something that just kind of came up over the past few days. It's actually something that Governor Brown did just a few weeks ago, and that is he's imposing a mandatory statewide 25% reduction in water use in California, right? Yeah. And so we're all just wondering, okay, so how is that going to affect us? What's that going to do to our water usage? So we're going to get it right straight from the people who get to tell us how to do it. And we'll start with Piret. Piret, first of all, tell us, how are we doing with our water situation here in Scotts Valley?
So what prompted Governor Brown, Robert, was actually the lack of snow up in the mountains. Okay. The snowpack was at 6%. Now we're hearing maybe 8% after the recent storms. But whoa. That itself, it was like
recent storm without an S. It wasn't even a plural.
Yeah,
plural.
A little baby storm.
Yeah.
But I mean, state is in a worse shape than we are here locally. We do not get any drop of water from the state project or federal project. It's all local, so we are in a little bit better shape. But we don't know how many years it's gonna keep going.
Right.
The lack of rainfall here, so we have to do our share, and we have to cut back. Not necessarily more, but pretty much stay where we were last year. We all did great. San Lorenzo, Scotts Valley, the customers were doing great. We got 20%. The baseline is 2013. We got 20%, close to it. Last year, we're gonna stay probably right there or ask for a little bit more. And more details are coming.
So, because what I hear is the snowpack levels that we had was like the lowest recorded ever. That's what I'm hearing. So that's pretty phenomenal what's going on with our water situation, and it's something that's been long lasting, and it continues to build and it continues to build. So that's why Governor Brown imposed this $25. Yeah, I wish it was $25. 25% water reduction across the state. So Brian, how are you guys doing at SLV Water District with your water situation?
We're doing excellent. I'm very happy with the customers' response to the drought requests and the mandates that we've tried to get out there for a 20% conservation last year. This year we're going to go forward tonight, as a matter of fact, at the board meeting. We're adjusting based on Governor Brown's declaration in April 1st, asking for a statewide 25% reduction. Both agencies, like Piret said, rely on local groundwater and local surface water. We don't rely on the state snowpack. Right. But that doesn't mean that the drought is not impacting us. We have local supplies that are definitely being impacted by the drought conditions and the lack of rainfall. So we are asking our customers, or will be asking our customers, to adjust and bring it up and try and hit that 25% reduction mark. Hopefully they'll be able to do that. So we're looking forward to working with them in a positive way.
Excellent. And you just made an excellent point in terms of, we're not necessarily impacted by the low snowpack that has existed, but in a way we are indirectly impacted, because as a whole state we kind of work together in many different ways. So that's one of the reasons why you're seeing that, because I've actually had that comment. A couple different people said, hey, you know what? Why are we even being impacted? This has nothing to do with we're not even impacted by the snowpack level, but it's really a movement across the state where we all kind of have to work together to conserve water, right?
The storms have to pass through our area to get to the Sierras.
There you go.
And so we get first dibs on any water that falls, and it falls into our mountains, but eventually they make it to the Sierras and they make it to snowfall. Okay. But it's the same storm system, so it impacts every part of the state.
So what are some of the day-to-day things, Piret, if I'll start with you, what are some of the day-to-day things that you guys are going to be doing as of this point forward to get that 25% reduction in what what we're needing? What are some of the things you're going to start asking of consumers out there, or not consumers, but actually residents here in Scotts Valley?
Yeah, I'm going to actually turn it over to Leanne, talk about the details of that. One thing that is in effect now already as of last Friday, the 10th of April, is limitations on outdoor irrigation, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll be doing what the governor asked us to do, the State Water Board, and we're going to be asking people that have street addresses ending in an even number to water on Saturday and Tuesday. So if your address, for example, is 124, that would be an even number. And if you're 123, that would be the odd number, and you'd be watering on Sunday and Wednesday. And all the irrigation has to occur, overhead irrigation, spray irrigation, before 10 a.m. and after 5 p.m. And that's actually an ordinance that we have in place all year round, every year in Scotts Valley. It was an ordinance that was passed in 2012. So we're going to be asking for a lot of your help and cooperation with that. And please, you may want to water a little bit more, but please don't water for an hour thinking that you're going to make up for those lost irrigation days. Because what will happen is, if it's your lawn, the water will just go through the root zone and go down into the soil, and we'll actually be losing that water. So that's my big request.
That's a great point, because we tend to think, oh my gosh, we got to make this water last for 3 or 4 days. When in reality, when you do that, you oversaturate it, and most of the water is already gone, so it's not really affecting or helping what you're trying to water.
And it's hitting your pocketbook. You're paying for that, but nobody's using it. So kind of being mindful. Actually, Brian can probably have a testimony that last year San Lorenzo did it 3 days a week, not 2, 3 days a week.
Correct.
And you got your reduction, the 20%, mostly through that, right?
We did have a 3-day-a-week irrigation schedule that we had asked our customers to do last year, and we were still able to maintain a 20% reduction in conservation. This year, because of Governor Brown's action, we are going to be limiting to 2 days a week irrigation. I believe we are on the same schedule as Scotts Valley. We're trying to match up so we don't confuse people. You know, 2 valleys having the same system, and then that's for irrigation. We also have the washing of the car restrictions and things like that. You have to have a nozzle on the hose. You can't let it run freely. Timing is a big and critical issue, and you know, something that any messaging I would want to get out is that plants are very resilient. Landscaping is very resilient, and a 2-day-a-week schedule is very reasonable. Your plants should not see a significant amount of stress because of that.
And I would just add one more thing. If you do have potted plants, they are a little bit less resilient because they dry out faster. So we're telling people that you can hand water with a hose shutoff nozzle or a watering can if you need those potted plants to have maybe 1 more day of irrigation.
And gardens, vegetable gardens.
That's going to be my next step, because my wife and I just had this conversation last night, and that, you know, we really enjoy doing our own thing, and like in terms of, you know, growing our cucumbers, strawberries and stuff like that. And we actually eat a lot of our own food that we grow if we don't give it away. How is that going to work? I mean, I had read something on your website where it said that there's a little bit of a difference if you're actually consuming the vegetables and stuff. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it doesn't apply to edibles because those plants tend to need a little bit more water, and we just ask people again to water conservatively, and if you are raising edible plants, that's fabulous. And
we are asking you to fallow your rice fields, though.
Flood irrigation.
All of them in the
All
valley.
of them, please.
Okay, so car washes are a big thing. There's a lot of people who are doing a lot of like car wash fundraisers. Okay, there's been a lot of talk, and I've actually had a lot of different conversations, or a few different conversations with the Water District and a few other people in terms of the impact, the environmental impact that car washes make on the drain storms and such. So there's starting to be a movement towards like, hey, you know what, maybe we could think of a different type of a fundraiser. Now, because of these sanctions, how is that going to affect going forward car washing fundraisers? Because there's a lot of them that are done almost every week in different parts of the town. Your thoughts?
There's nothing that directly speaks to that. It has been a somewhat of a concern for us, not for the water side, but for the stormwater regulations, depending where it's being held and where that water runs. As long as you have a nozzle or you're doing it with a bucket, it kind of falls within the parameters. So, but it's a good question. We probably should be thinking about how to educate people and what tips to give them, what to do, what not to do. But rebates is probably another thing that, again, trying to help customers. We're not here And hopefully you're gonna ask the fine question later, Robert, so I'm not gonna go down there. We're not here to really punish people. Our goal is to help people to reduce their demand and their consumption, and meeting the goal that state has put in front of us.
Yeah.
So rebates will help. We
Yes.
have, both of us, I believe, we have
Mhm.
turf and drip irrigation. We'll
Okay.
continue that.
Mhm.
So go to your respective water districts, call them up, ask what can you do, how can we help you to take a turf out and replace it with something that is less water.
And
use.
you will do it, Leanne. You will do it. Hey, folks, I'm not kidding you. She's actually saving us, you know, a couple $100 probably a month during the summertime season because of the things that you taught us how to do, and we changed our landscaping quite a bit. And you know, an extra couple $100, you know, a month or even every other month, that's quite a bit of money, and it does add up. So
Absolutely.
just to piggyback on, and not to repeat myself, but I am going to repeat myself. So we're talking about water usage twice a week, right? It's going to be the same days, Brian?
Correct.
And Piret? Okay, can you repeat those days and times?
So even number, addresses ending in even numbers are Saturday and Tuesday, and addresses ending in odd numbers are Sunday and Wednesday. So we get both weekend days in there, because I know
Okay.
that's when I catch up on my irrigation.
Okay.
And then we'll have two weekdays, Tuesday and Wednesday. So when we drive around town and our field crew sees people watering on
That's my next
Thursday,
question.
Friday and Monday, they'll-
Nobody should be watering on
Yeah.
3 days a week.
Correct.
Yeah, so those days will be
Twice
off
a week.
limits. So it'll be hopefully it'll be socially reinforcing that.
There you go.
kind of see your neighbor and going, oh, that's right, that's not my watering day, or that is my watering day, I better get going.
Okay.
So-
So we're going to rely on several different things, folks. We're going to rely on each other to talk to our neighbors. If we see our neighbors watering a day, you know, I would say the first thing you should probably do is say, hey neighbor, you know, you probably don't want to be watering on this day. I don't know if you know this or not. I mean, you don't want to immediately, I'm calling the SWAT, you know, and they're coming out here to take you down. But I think the best thing to do is to be a good neighbor and say, hey, you know what, I'm not sure if you know about this, but you're not supposed to be watering on this particular
Yep.
date. And then if you see, see it occur again, personally, me, that's how I would approach it, you know, because you always want to make
Yep.
sure that, you know, and then at that point, if they don't care, then maybe it does need to be called in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, you're going to have different crews doing their normal duties every day, but as they're driving around,
Yep.
if they spot something like that, they're going to report it. How about you, Brian? How are you guys doing it?
Same thing. It's going to be voluntary. Again, we're trying to reach out to you if we see somebody who is watering on the wrong day or watering incorrectly. We are going to approach them in a very positive educational type of atmosphere and try and teach them and educate them on the drought and what it means to the district and the community as a whole. I would like to add for the conservation program, though, for those of you in San Lorenzo Valley, you guys did such an excellent job utilizing our conservation program last year and the rebate program. We actually ran out of money earlier in the year for that program. We are going to the board tonight asking them to refund a portion of that to get us through the remainder of the budget year to July 1st, and then hopefully we'll be able to get that approved, open up our rebate conservation rebate program again, and that should be starting hopefully next week. And I would encourage anyone in San Lorenzo Valley to reach out to us either by phone, go to our website, slvwd.com, and contact us, and we would definitely love an opportunity to educate you, talk to you about the drought and conservation.
So the fines being imposed are $500 fines.
From the state, yeah.
Okay, from the state. So Scotts Valley is not the one who is going to be collecting these $500, and SLV is not going to be collecting the $500, or who's collecting it?
We can.
Okay.
So what state, we each have our own fine systems, but state is giving us another tool to use up to $500 per day per violation, so those could add up. We are really hoping we don't have to use it, only in extreme cases when somebody is not getting the message and maybe
Refuses
that is.
At some point you have
Refuses
to. I
get-
think you have to at some point.
And,
yeah.
and then, so hopefully they don't add up to a whole lot of money. If they do, they will pay for those additional efforts we have to do because of those regulations. Maybe we do
Beautiful.
have to hire additional patrols, additional mailings, additional communication, outreach things out on the streets. So it's really gonna be kind of self-serving, that fine. The governor has also said they have a right to fine the agencies, the local agencies, $10,000 per day So this is why we're doing it, because if we don't do what
Wow, it's a lot
the
of
governor is asking from all of us, we're gonna be penalized. And that money has to come from someplace. Our only revenue is customers again.
Right.
So it all
Right.
kind of, if we do it all together and really proactively, hopefully none of that we have to deal with.
Well, here's my feeling on the matter. Number one, it's very similar to, people get upset if they get a speeding ticket. But you know what? Somebody has to enforce it. And if you get a speeding ticket and you have to pay that fine, you were speeding. Okay, that's just kind of how it works, right?
Yeah.
And because somebody had made a comment on our Facebook page that said you guys were going to buy some rain clouds with the money, but I don't think rain clouds are for sale, right?
Yeah.
So
I
About the
certainly
money.
may, I haven't found any.
So Brian, how are you guys handling the $500? Pretty much the same things. $500 fine. It's going to go to fund a lot of the projects that you guys are doing.
Any fines that we collect are going to be pushed into conservation programs. I just don't
Excellent.
see any other way around it.
Agreed.
We are trying to fund these programs with limited resources, and it's got to be helpful in that regard.
Awesome.
My hope is, customers, we won't have to collect any fines. And based on past history, I don't think we'll have to. I think everybody's stepping up to the plate.
Agreed. I think everybody is too, and I think the cool thing about it, where we live in Scotts Valley, SLV, the cool thing about it is everybody's really big on conservation. They really are. That's a big thing. If you ever see, I know because every once in a while somebody would do a fundraiser that involved the car wash or something, you'd have people hammering it, hey man, you guys are wasting water, you guys are wasting water, and I get it. So the cool thing is you have people buying in on it.
Yes.
So it's not like going to a different era where, it's not as big on the list of people's priorities, but here in this particular part of town, in Santa Cruz County, we happen to be big supporters of conservation in various different ways, right?
Very much so.
Okay. Brian, what is your website if people want more information? You have a website?
SLVWD.com.
SLVWD.com.
Correct.
And you, Piret?
And we are svwd.org, O-R-G. I think one thing I just wanted to make sure everybody, this is the question we get the most, is it 25% of last year? Is it 25% of what? Is everybody supposed to be 25%? So it is, the baseline is 2013, not last year. And that 20% or 25% is a system-wide. There are some people who've done a great job. All they have to do is to stay at the same level. There are some customers that can do better. We are expecting those people to step up. So what we need is a system-wide. We all need to come together as a communities, both of us, the two valleys. I know we can do it if we kind of just put our thinking caps on and do the good thing, do the right thing. So if you need more information, call us up, email us, go to the websites. There are some great tools and links there. We are, this is pretty amazing. There are 400-something water agencies like us in the whole state. Both of us are in the top 50 in terms of per capita water use.
Yep.
So we've been doing great as
That's
customers,
great.
all of us.
Fantastic. You know what?
Yeah.
I can't tell you, Brian, Leanne, and Piret, how much I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here today. There's a lot of people that are very interested in this topic. You're going to reach a lot of people, and I'm sure and I'm positive everyone who's watching this video is very appreciative of your time. A lot of excellent information. We're going to put some links, folks. We're going to put some links to their websites so that you can visit it with tips and so forth that you can get, and also a little bit more information on what we talked about here today. But a lot of great info, and I think that this is time well spent. Folks, I want to thank you for watching this program. We'll keep coming back at you with more information on what's going on in our town. This is definitely a hot topic. Thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Our
Robert.
pleasure.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
folks, if you have any more questions, you can just post your comments here on our Facebook page at facebook.com/MyScottsValley. If you want to send me an email, something I probably missed, because I'm sure I did. You can say, and if I did, I'm usually told about it. So you can email me to robert@robertaldana.com, and I'm happy to respond. But thank you again for watching, and hope you have an awesome day. And don't forget, hey, by the way, am I able to take a shower every day? Is that okay?
Short one.
Short one, okay.
Navy shower.
Navy shower.
And if
Navy
you want
shower.
a free low flow shower head, talk to me.
Oh, free low flow showers, because
Yes.
you are having some things that you're still kicking in terms
Oh,
of
yeah.
like different types of
Yeah.
gadgets or.
We're here to help people. Make
Awesome.
it easy.
Both districts do have gadgets that we can
Beautiful.
provide our customers to help them reduce their water consumption.
Beautiful, and I'm sure most of that information is on your website.
It is.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys.
Okay.
Hope you have a great day.
Thank
We'll be in
you.
touch, and thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Leanne with Scotts Valley Water. For the conservation program, we do give away free devices, and during the drought it might be especially helpful if you'd like to swing by. We have shower timers that affix to the tile in your shower. We have hose shut-off nozzles for washing cars. We don't hose down hardscape, but if you want to water your container plants and by hand, you can do that. We also have shower heads that are 1.5 gallons that are really nice flow. They feel like you have decent pressure and coverage. We also have a few that are also wand type. We have aerators for your kitchen sinks and your bathroom sinks. We have washers for your hoses if you have a leaky hose connection. And we have scrubbers for your dishes to use less water, and also squeegees to get the food off your plate. These are also good for getting wax off your surfboard, I've heard. Let's see, I think that's it. We also have some stickers and some refrigerator magnets, and we have these bags we can give you that tell you the flow of your aerators or your shower heads. And I'm probably forgetting something. Oh, we have dives for your, if you want to test your toilets, just throw these in your tank, and if it turns your bowl blue, you have a leak and you flap the valve. So I'm happy to come out and help people with this, but you're welcome to come by and get these devices.